Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. What I want to do this morning, I want to present about culture in New York. Before we go into the material that I will present, I want to introduce myself. My name is Farida, and I am Management Study Program. To start the first, I would talk about language. Language used in New York. New York is a big city that has many languages. The first is English. The total user is 80%. And after that, Spanish language 12%. Asia language 3.7%. Language in Oceania 3%. And language etc 0.9. The second, I will talk about greeting in New York. When we meet other people, then the habit in New York is smile. You must smile and call him with first name. If you without your friends, don't forget to introduce your friends. Shake hand and say hello. His words are open and don't be easily offended. And his don't like pleasantries. And the third, I will talk about social and small talk. That's always, never, good openness, and how to keep it rolling. And the last, how to end it gracefully. Okay, next to the fourth part, which is about religion in New York. In New York, there are also many religions which are mostly followed by New York, namely Christian, whose presence is up to 7.6%, and number 2, Christian Protestant 46.5%, the number 3, Catholic 20.8%, number 4, Yehudi 1.9%, and 5, Muslim 0.9%, and number 6, atheism or agnosticism 22.8%, and the last, not religion 6.7%. The next slide is about eating etiquette in New York. Eating in New York, and first, you must tip. Giving a tip is one of the habits of New York people. The easiest food to find is hamburger. After eating cake thrown away by myself, and the cheapest and easiest to find hamburger food, eat without spoon and forks. And start eating when the host invites you. When visiting, do not eat before touch the house. Then we go to slide 5 there. It's about daily foods and well-known foods. New York, especially for this, cheesecake, bagel, style New York, pizza, pastrami, corned beef, baked breads, Italian ice, style New York, and other. And now, I want to talk about the education system in New York. Education system in New York is very different from Indonesia, starting for compulsory schooling at the age of 5 to 12 or 18 years, or secondary education. Number 2, basic education, that is usually a lack of education of around 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, even up to 8 years. And then junior high school, given freedom to choose the desired subject. Okay, after education in New York, then we go to the slide about the festival in New York. Kind of festival that are at in New York that are no less spectacular, namely there. The first Christmas spectacular starting the Radio City Rockets, and then Rockefeller Center Christmas tree, Parade Thanksgiving Day in Mexico, Parade Village Halloween, I see at Patrick's Day New York City, New York Comic Zone, Spidey Fest and Borderberry, Tribeca Film Festival, Lumino City Festival, and then Holiday Nostalgia. You can see in a picture. It's a very spectacular. And go to the next slide. We will talk about the ceremony in New York. One is despacho ceremony. This is to bring balance between human world, the real world, and the spiritual world. And then Swedish Midsummer. This is a celebration held in middle of summer, which we can see is this picture. And then devil burning ceremony. After the previous slide, we go to next slide, which is about dance in New York. There are many kinds of dance in New York, but the more famous ones are ballet, two-tap dance, and three-tap dance jazz, and then soft shoe, and the last hip-hop dance. After we talk about dance, we go to the next slide, which is about travel destination. If visiting New York, don't forget to visit this interesting and famous place. Statue of Liberty, Central Park, Empire State Building, Times Square, Metropolitan Museum of Art, Brooklyn, Rockefeller Center, Hike Line, Battery Park. And then you can see about the picture that's so many beautiful to visit. Okay, not only the destination, we need to talk about clothing in New York. We will also talk about this slide. Fashion in New York is the center of current trends and has branded characteristics. And some of the characteristics of the New York include electric and informal domination, adjacent, cowboy hat, boots, jeans, and leather jackets. For the last one, I will tell about do and don't in New York. It turns out that if we visit New York, we must know what can be done and what cannot be done in New York so that there is no sanction. The first thing that can be done among others. The first is drink water in the tap available in every place. Take a picture with the background of the Statue of Liberty. For Muslim, can go to the Masjid Al-Hikmah to worship, and then walk or take public transportation. Contact before visiting. And cannot be done. And the first is don't stop in the middle of the sidewalk. Benefit from using a bicycle path if not cycling. Do not stand in the middle of the escalator. Don't use a credit card. Don't take a taxi that someone else is boarding. Do not bid if you buy goods. My presentation lasts about 20 minutes. At the end of my talk, there will be a chance to ask questions. So to sum up, the culture in New York is different with Indonesia culture. And including in a conclusion, I'd like to say that before we visit other countries, we at last find out first about their culture. Thank you for your attention. And if you have any question or comments, I will be happy to answer them now. Then enough for me. Thanks you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.